Good morning, friends. Happy Thursday, day before Friday, or as we call it in my class, Friday. Yeah, I'm that teacher. Anyway, so the story I'm going to tell you today, I wasn't actually going to tell you. However, the parents of the child that did this reached out to me and were like, please, you have to tell that story. And then the kid said, oh yeah, I'm super proud of that story. And I was like, are you sure I can tell it to everybody? And they're like, yeah. So I get to tell the story, and it is one of my favorite stories of all time. So it's totally building it up too much, and now you won't even think it's funny. So when I was teaching at St. Mary's, I think I was 25 years old. So I was pretty young, and and the boys, it was almost all boys. I think I had 3 girls in that class, and the rest were all boys. And I cannot remember how many kids there were all together. I want to say like maybe 13, 14. I mean, it was a very, very small group of kids. And my poor 3 girls, like we hung out like we were, in a gang because the boys just dominated everything. But oh my God, I loved my boys, like ridiculously loved my boys. And they loved me right back. And they were very protective of me and super funny. And they're 5th grade boys. So they're also like, boys, and they do what boys do. And we had a lot of great conversations about things, and they were pretty cool kids, and I loved them. So I'm building up to this because the main thing you need to remember is that they're boys, and I needed to remember that they were boys. So the point of this is that boys are different than girls. Boys think about things differently. Boys go about things differently. They often have a different sort of energy level. They're boys. Okay, so when I was teaching at St. Mary's, like I said, I think I was 25. I got engaged late that spring. And everyone was really happy for me. It was really sweet. And I started thinking about how I just loved these kids. I wanted them to get to meet my fiance. So I decided one of the things I was going to do is we were talking about different jobs and stuff, and one or two of them actually said that they had thought about being an attorney when they grew up. Now, looking back on this, it's very possible, because they were very smart. It's very possible that they figured this all out ahead of time, and I just fell for it hook, line, and sinker, but maybe not. So I was like, okay, well, oh my gosh, you guys, my fiance is an attorney. Why don't I have him come in and we'll do an interview? You can ask him questions about what it's like to be an attorney, and then it's kind of like career day. It's kind of cool. So they were all for it. They were super excited. So I talked to my fiance. I'm like, listen, I have these great kids. They're super curious about you. They're curious about what it's like to be an attorney. So would you mind coming in and talking to them? And he's like, oh no, that'd be totally cool. And yeah, I'll come in. And he and I were very different people. He's an awesome guy. We are no longer married. But he's an awesome human being, just a good, kind person. But he's also super straight. He's very different than me. He's the sort of person who wears khakis on the weekend. I don't know if that makes sense, but where I can never find my pants. I don't know. It's hard to explain. We're very different people, which is why it probably didn't work out. But he's a wonderful human being, but he's very practical. He's very polite. He's very correct. So just keep this in mind. Okay. So he comes in, gorgeous. He's in a suit, tie. I give him this little stool up in the front of the room, and he sits down, and the kids are asking really thoughtful questions. And I had said to them, listen, really think about what you want to ask him. And they did. I could tell they had really talked to each other. They didn't ask the same question over and over. So I could tell they'd actually done what I said and, prepared a little bit. And it's kind of getting towards the end, and they're asking him all these questions. How much money do you make? How long does it take to become an attorney? Do you like being an attorney? Is it hard to be an attorney? But they're kind of winding down. Sorry, my allergies are so bad. And then it gets sort of quiet in the room because I think they're running out of things to say. But the boys are all looking at each other. And Jimmy Palmer, who is one of the coolest people I've ever met, even now, he was I don't know. So I wish I could just demonstrate the entire way he went about this, because he is so smooth, this kid. Even in 5th grade, smooth. So he he's sitting there and he tips his chair back, like, like Mr. Cool, tips his chair back, like on one leg, raises his hand like this. I go, Jimmy, he goes, yeah, I got a question. And I go, okay, cool. And Paul goes, sure, what is it? And he goes, well, I think we're all kind of wondering, you're getting married to Miss Orchid and all. How is she in bed? Well, my fiance completely freezes up, like choking. And I, teacher of the moment, jump in and I go, Jimmy Palmer, that is a mortal sin, as you know, and Mr. Blakely would not know the answer to that question. So that's enough. And you can march yourself to the principal's office, buddy. But I felt really bad about sending him to the principal's office. But because it happened in front of my fiance, I had to. Like, this is one of those times I couldn't like hide it for them, which I usually did. So I felt really bad, and all the boys are dying laughing, and my fiance can't get out of there fast enough, of course. So he leaves. So I'm like, I can't believe you were so rude. How dare you put him in that position, blah, blah, blah. But it was really, really funny. And now to this day, it's one of my favorite stories ever. Well, it turns out that the boys put their money together and bet Jimmy Palmer $5 that he wouldn't ask that question. They dared him to ask that question and gave him $5 to ask it. Totally worth it, by the way. Totally worth the $5. It was hysterical. And he got in big trouble. I think they told his parents, it became this thing. Oh my God. I felt awful because it was really funny, but I had to tell because it happened in front of my fiance, who was like, aren't you going to handle this or something, so I had to handle it. But anyway, I did love those boys, and I actually ended up inviting my entire class to my wedding, and they all came, and it was amazing. I have the most beautiful picture of me in my wedding gown. I'm surrounded by all of those kids. And when I saw them there at the church and I was coming down the aisle, I was so excited that I literally stopped dead in the aisle and was like, oh my God, hi you guys, oh my God, I can't believe you're here, oh my God. Like the least cool bride ever. And it was it was an Episcopal church. It was mass. It was the whole thing. And right in the middle of the aisle, I totally, my kids are here. And yeah, it was great. It was pretty awesome. And I'm still very, very touched that they came, and it was awesome. So that's my awesome story for Thursday. Hope you enjoyed it. I can't think of any more funny stories about St. Mary's, but hopefully if the kids write me today and they have some memories of their own, I'll be able to tell you another one tomorrow. We'll wrap up my week to St. Mary's because I did love it. So have a great Thursday, friends, and I'll see you tomorrow.